Hey Hot Tots, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm doing my WW favorites. I'm not really sure how many things are here. I'm thinking there are over 20, but we're just rolling with it. So I started WW, I had no clue what snacks to eat, what things were good points, what would be my staples. And so I really wanted to show you guys, if you're new here, if you're not new, you probably know all my staples. But if you are new and you're looking and searching because you just started WW or you're only right into your journey or getting right back into it, I have some things that are like my top WW products that are good points and that I use in my day-to-day life and really help me to stay on track. So first, these wontons. So they are the BB Go mini wontons, chicken and vegetable. There are different ones. These are the chicken and vegetable, 9 of them for 3 points. They are mini, but they are pretty good in size. I just pop these into the air fryer, put a little soy sauce with them, and they are such a good staple to have in the house. Sometimes I fry up some cauliflower rice or regular rice. I do like its own Asian meal with these. These are so good if you're wanting to have, rice, noodles, that type of feel, and they are really low on points. Mini wontons, baby. Yes. Next, you already know, Ore-Ida has the best points on French fries. I love the shoestring French fries. They're like the fast food fries because I love fast food. That doesn't just go away when you're dieting, it actually gets stronger. So when I'm craving fast food, which is like all the time, I eat these. You can have 31 of these for 5 points. So I eat these with Kid Fresh chicken nuggets. Now there are some Tyson brands out there that are awesome in points as well, but I love the Kid Fresh. I find these at my local Kroger. They're over in like the individual meal section, not the actual chicken section, at least at my grocery store. So you can have 6 of these for 3 points. They're very flavorful. And when I'm really craving that fast food type of feel, I have 5 points worth of these with 3 points worth of these. So 5 chicken nuggets, 31 French fries. It's a lot. And it's only going to be 8 points. I never crave Wendy's, McDonald's, anything because I get to eat this all the time. And when you're trying to lose weight, you can't be having Wendy's and McDonald's all the time. I mean, you can have it, but you have to use more points. Why do that? Science. That didn't make sense. Math. Next thing I like to buy are popsicles. These aren't the best on points, but I personally only count them as 1 point. They're only 45 calories per popsicle. They technically come out as 3 points, but anything under 100 calories, I count as 1 point. So just having any good pointed popsicles on hand really helps you in your weight loss journey because a lot of times when you're not even hungry, you just want to snack or eat something, and I like to grab a popsicle. Yes. Whipped cream frozen. So I like to use this in place of ice cream. I put this on fruit with Hershey Light syrup, which is something else that I love and is a staple. Hershey Light syrup for 8 grams, which is a lot. It's 0 points. The second you go up to 9 grams is when it counts as a point. I always use 8 grams, so I don't have to count a point. You get it? I love the Whipped Light whipped cream. It really helps to grab 1 or 2 points worth of whipped cream and place that on top of whatever you're eating. Like if you're eating like a low point cookie or even a high point cookie, this just helps you reduce those points. Add that chocolate sauce. Dessert of champions. I love dessert, okay? Speaking of dessert, the things I really love to do as well is use maraschino cherries on top of my dessert and some Reddi-wip. Certain amount of sprays of Reddi-wip is 0 points. It's only 5 calories for 2 tablespoons of this. So I just put a squirt on and I'm good to go for 0 points. Maraschino cherries are really low in points as well. 0 points for 1. I think as you go up, it goes up, but they're only 5 calories a piece. So if I put a couple on my dessert, I don't count them. I love maraschino cherries. I also pop them into my 7-Up Zero Cherry Zero. Tastes so good, but we're not at the pop yet, Sophie, focus. I also love these cones. 1 cone is 15 calories and they're 1 point a piece. I love them because I think it's 1 point for 2. Yep, 1 point for 2. These are amazing and I love to make cone olies with this. Check out one of my videos, I'll link it down below. Or just have it, crumble it up and put it on any dessert I have. Having cones around and getting that crunch really helps me to satiate myself when I'm really wanting something sweet. So these cones, are clutch. Next are these pizzelles. You can find these in the bakery section of your grocery store. These are 1 point a piece, but what I love to do is if I have a bunch of fresh fruit with my Hershey syrup and my whipped cream, everything is 0 in there, I'll put 2 to 3 of these and just have a really low point dessert and feel like I'm getting that cookie on top of all of my fruit and chocolate and whipped cream. It is so good and it really helps me to feel satiated when I'm having my dessert. These are a must. Just to let you know, you can definitely go to your bakery section and find so many things. Just because you scan it and it says it's 10 points or 12 points for a slice, you can look and re-slice the cake or re-slice the dessert or eat half, figure out a way to make it lower in point. A lot of those like cheesecakes or Danishes, they only do 1/8 of the container is 15 or 10 points. But if you actually do 1/10 of the container, it's down to 6 points. So make sure when you're looking at bakery items that you can kind of finagle it and see, can I really get a good piece of pie or a good piece of cake or Danish for better points? But I just don't see that instantly because I scanned it and it's showing me high points. Just a little tip. Next, we'll get into anything that needs to go back into the refrigerator because my freezer items almost all melted during this process, so. Next is this queso blanco dip, 2 tablespoons for 1 point, and that is a lot of dip. It's 45 calories for 2 tablespoons. I put this on everything. I put this on my taco meat, my chicken, obviously with chips and salsa. This helps me curb that like Mexican queso craving. It is so good, you guys. You do not feel like you're missing out on anything. Get you some of this. Since we're talking about cheese, I love these Laughing Cow cheese wedges. They're 1 point a piece. I always get the spicy jalapeno. It's my favorite, but these are so clutch when it comes to making pastas even. I will put a couple of those in my pasta, cream up my pasta with them and eat that as like the sauce for my pasta. And it's super cheesy and creamy, but it makes you feel like you're eating something more decadent. Also, obviously, chips and cheese or anything else you want to put cheese on. These are really nice because you can just spread it really easily and they're only 1 point a piece, so it's really easy to keep it in check of how much of them you're using. Next are turkey pepperonis. These help, they're very low in point compared to regular pepperonis. These specifically are 2 points for 16 slices, so these are such a good little snack to have. If you want some of these with some cheese or some crackers or just pepperonis with like some hot peppers. I eat that all the time as a snack, like yellow hot peppers and these, and just eat them as a snack. It's so good. But turkey pepperoni is so much lower in points than regular pepperoni, and you can't even tell the difference. So definitely clutch. How many times can I say clutch? I really don't know. Velveeta cheese slices. 1 slice is 1 point. American cheese, it's 4 points for 1 slice. Get you Velveeta cheese slices. Saves you some points, pizza. These are nice as like a fan. I'm really hot. It's 65 degrees out right now. I don't know what's happening because it was snowing the other day in Ohio and now it's 65 degrees. We can't make up our minds here. These no sugar added apple sauces, the Granny Smiths, are 0 points for a container. I love these when I'm just sitting and wanting to snack and I don't necessarily want anything specific, or I'm not, sorry, there's people driving motorcycles thinking they're cool. We're revving them up. Hello, I'm doing a video. Anyways, these are such a good snack option, and if you get the no sugar added, it's 0 points. You could add a little cinnamon to it if you wanted and keep it 0. They're so good and they just really help me to curb my cravings, and when I'm really feeling snacky, it takes me a minute to eat one of these, so it helps to like sidetrack myself. Next up is the Hormel chili turkey with beans, 98% fat-free chili. It is so good, so tasty, and it just curbed that like chips and dip craving. I put this with some light some light cream cheese, this cheese, jalapenos, and dip some Tostitos in it, and oh my gosh, it is so good. Next is Rayo's tomato basil tomato soup. This whole thing is only 1 point, and to find a tomato soup that's low in points is almost impossible. These are expensive, I will say. It's like $6, but if you want that soup and it's low in points, you can make it yourself, which a lot of people do that 0 point marinara recipe or the 0 point tomato soup recipe. But if I really just want to grab something quick, I just have these on hand. This brand is really amazing also with their fettuccine alfredo sauce. So this is such a good brand to have. Only 1 point for this whole jar. I like to put low point croutons in my soup, so then I feel like I'm eating like a biscuit or like a piece of bread with it, and it's so good, and it's only a couple points, so my lunch always ends up being like 3 points when I eat this with some croutons. Shut your mouth and say it ain't so. Since we're talking about spaghetti, we might as well go into it. So I love the Fiber Gourmet noodles. These are the light rotini. These are super good in points, but also the carbonara is as well. I got both of these off Amazon. Let's compare the points. So for 2 ounces cooked, it's 100 calories and it's 2 points. Then for 2 ounces of the carbonara, it's 3 points. So still both very good options. These are always sold out. So if you ever see that these are sold out and you can't find them anywhere on Amazon, just grab yourself some carbonara. The low point carbonara is the roasted garlic fettuccine. I love this one. This is 170 calories for 1.5 cups dry or 2 ounces. And this is 100 calories for 2 ounces, but they both are only 2 and 3 points. So they're really good pasta options. I never feel like I can't eat pasta on WW. And that's the dream, am I right? Because your girl loves pasta. If you can't tell. Speaking of bread and pasta, Ore-Ida, I always say Ore-Ida, and that's the freaking French fry brand. Olay wraps, the high fiber, carb lean are only 1 point a piece. I will go get Chipotle and I'll come back and I'll put my Chipotle in one of these wraps to save myself all of those points, because these wraps are so good and they don't taste any different than the wrap you get at Chipotle. So I'll wrap up my stuff, my Chipotle, in here and use this instead. It's delicious. I also obviously make quesadillas, pizzadillas, fajitadillas, you know, whatever. I do all of that with these. Another bread item I personally love is the Sara Lee's 45 calorie bread. I usually get the multigrain. I love it so much. It's only 1 point per piece. It's so good, and I know that I love bread and pasta, so I just try to find those low point options so that I don't feel like I'm using all my points just because I like pasta, you know? So this bread is my favorite and my go-to. Why am I doing this? Speaking of chips and dips and everything like that, these are the bite-sized Tostitos. These are what I use every time that I use that queso dip. Anytime I make like a taco salad bowl, I'll crumple some of these up and put them in there or use them on the side as a dip. They're 4 points for 24 chips. You get a good amount of chips for 4 points, and I love using these to dip into that dip I was talking about earlier or the queso. It's so good, and since the queso is only 1 point for 2 tablespoons, I mean, you have a really low point snack here. Yum. I'm doing like hand gestures. I don't know why. Some of my favorite chips also are the baked cheddar and sour cream chips. I haven't had these actually in a really long time. It's 4 points for 11 chips. When I'm really craving them, I have to have them. They're not the best in points, but like, they're really good. Next are these veggie straws. The veggie straws are amazing in points. You get like 27 of them for 3 points or something like that. They're so good. I love to have these on the side with like my turkey sandwiches or any kind of like deli sandwiches, because it makes me get that crunch and I'm not missing that chip, but I get a ton of these for a lot low points. Do you like the ponytail I put on the top? Next, I'm sure you guys have heard this 100 times, Good Thins. So the sea salt Good Thins, you get 41 of these for 3 points. And then the jalapeno, I forget, let's look. You get 38 of these for 3 points. So 41 and 38, and they are so good. Again, with the Chipotle, if I go get myself a Chipotle bowl, which I usually get about, it's like a 12-point bowl, I will come back and I will just use these chips instead. I'll use about a point's worth, which is like 16 or 17 chips, dip those in my Chipotle instead of using the Chipotle chips. Also, they're obviously great for anything you need to dip a chip in, low in points and super delicious. I've always got to have funfetti cake mix around, as well as, I think it's fat-free, sugar-free, everything-free cheesecake jello mix because of the funfetti dip. You can make this funfetti dip with plain Greek yogurt, 8 grams of funfetti, and then 5 grams of the cheesecake jello mix. It's like sugar-free, fat-free, everything-free, that one. Mix it all together, add some Lily's semi-sweet chocolate chips, and for like 2 points, you get this huge thing of dip some apples in it. It is the best snack ever, so I always have to have funfetti dip because I always gotta eat it. Next up are new loves of mine. You know, I just shared these recently on my channel. I've been craving Pop-Tarts, and if you're someone who likes Pop-Tarts, honey, I found our stuff, okay, to help us. So these are the pastry crisps. They're strawberry, they're Special K brand. Strawberry, blueberry, and then I have brown sugar. These are actually only 100 calories. They say that they're 4 points a piece, like 4 points per pack. I absolutely love them. I count them as 2 points because they're only 100 calories. You decide what you want to do, but I love these as a snack option because when I crave Pop-Tarts, you guys, it's serious. So I'm like, okay, I'll eat one of these instead, and then that craving is gone, it's curbed. So good. I also love these. These are 4 points, and they're the Cinnamon Toast Crunch bars. If you're into bars, it's like a good breakfast bar to have. I just love them. They're sweet. They're a good sweet treat. They're only 4 points, and they help to like curb that, like, again, like that cereal wanting Pop-Tarty situation. Last but not least, Coke Cherry Zero, 7-Up Cherry Zero. Add you some maraschino cherries in that. Get crazy, girl. Canada Dry Ginger Ale Zero and regular Coke Zero, my top fave drinks. Tastes like normal pop, and I'm into that. That's it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't, because it really helps support my channel. I do tons of what I eat in a day that show a lot of these products. I always am looking to buy new foods, new things, and find better substitutions for things that I always crave. So make sure you stick around and subscribe down below. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.